Yeah, as so far. We got no news today, do we?
Not sure.
Don't think so. We got some at 9:30, but that should be sweet. Okay, so the 15 minutes about to start closing back above, which is pretty solid. Ooh, closing their way to the top. Right, let's wait to see how the 30-minute candle closes.
Hopefully. If it closes like that, that'd be decent. Just
Yeah,
like now.
yeah, that would be good. I mean, even if it closes a little bit higher, we still got a decent amount of range.
It's not too bad stops either.
No. Yeah, I think it's going to be best to wait for the 30-minute candle to close here. Makes the most sense.
Yeah, go on. Our next one just closing back in the range, then if it closes below, our closes below.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man. Oh, it was like today was just so sore.
How are your legs today?
Do you know what? My legs are absolutely fine, which makes no sense. But my upper body, which was like the one that I've used to work on a lot, was the one that.
Sorry.
Yeah, and my arms. You know your biceps. Yeah, I can't even straighten my arm at the moment.
Them ones.
You know them ones, innit?
Yeah.
Like I have to keep them like just slightly bent, just to like the pain. But if I was to exactly straighten my arm, it would ruin me.
The good thing is that like you feel bigger when you ache. If you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like
You've done something.
yeah.
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, it just feels good to be back in there, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm gonna head back in there after next week, I think.
Yeah, man. Like obviously, I think I'd love a home gym if it was for like if we were back in lockdown. But since the gyms are open, like to me, it just makes sense to. Do you know what I mean? Just go to the gym.
I haven't been to like proper gym in like a year, I think.
Mad. Ooh, GJ, don't leave us. Still got 10 minutes. It's such a long time. Oh, imagine if this goes. It would have been the 15-minute candle closure. But I was trying to wait for the 30-minute to close.
No wick, though. I haven't seen that enough.
I hear that one. Oh, this is. Oh, if this goes now, though. I was so considering on the 15. Oh, that would just be. That would be a joke. Oh my day.
Hopefully, it's leaving us a nice week.
I don't know, man. Oh. Well, what we'd like is a bit of a wick, and then the next one to like start wicking down. We can get a better entry, but I mean, 10 minutes is quite a long time, and if this pumps up, that is going to be pretty frustrating. That is going to be proper frustrating. Come on, GJ, just retrace. Oh, I can see this just going now. Good morning, good morning. Nah, you can't do us like that. Oh my god. She's gone.
Oh, it's just annoying.
That is.
When we waited for this.
That's exactly what we were going to take as well. Nah, there's no way that. Come on, you can't do the whole move by now. Not even 7. It's not even 7 a.m. Nah, no way.
Yeah, this week's hit different.
This week's been mad.
Yeah, it's been pretty shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
I kind of think like this is the 4 hour just creating this top wick to head back down though. That's what I kind of feel.
Maybe. I mean, me personally, I think we're gonna go bullish. Basically the idea was if this 30-minute close back above this area here, then I was gonna take buys to come back up to 150, 160.
Yeah, there's a bit of a clean range there, isn't there?
Yeah, but because of this, like the way it's moved up already so much, it's gonna be difficult unless it retraces. Then I can't execute on it right now. Because
What would have been nicer for the previous 4 hour if we've got a close below 850, because like this 850 level keeps being respected. Even when we got a close below it previously, I did a fake out.
Yeah.
So it's hard to know where we're going to go at this point.
Hopefully we respect this 1 hour level, because like we haven't actually got a lot of volume yet, but just sometimes there is just some days there's just this, you know, mad volume, but we really want this to retrace, to be honest, and then we can execute. Good morning, good morning. Wow, there's such a lack of people in the YouTube today. There's like 4 people. Mad.
Sometimes I think GJ just doesn't make me feel so good. Need to find something else.
Yeah. So GG is one of those. It's just like, you know, it either works in your favor or it completely doesn't. So you just got to try. It
is mad how it can be like 1 week it could be so good, and then the next week it's just.
I know. Yeah. I mean, I've been trading GJ now for like. How long have I been trading GJ? About 2 years.
Is that all you look at, GJ and gold?
Yeah, now it is, yeah, pretty much. But I'm trying to chill with gold for a little bit. I just want to get to a point, yeah, where I'm just like absolutely smashing GJ like week in, week out, and then I'll look to move, like to start properly looking at another pair. Like in the meantime, it's just about building the experience without taking a physical trade on gold necessarily. Like I've taken trades on gold, but the thing I find is it's a bit tough, you know. It's a very tough pair to trade, but I think, yeah.
You got to trade it on lower time frames, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I find that the 5 minute makes the most sense for gold. Yeah, what we really want is the next 15-minute candle to retrace, and then we can try and get a better entry and start executing.
We've been looking at GJ for like 6 months.
Yeah, you was on GCAD.
Yeah.
GCAD, man. Right. Hopefully.
What do you think about GU? Do you ever traded GU?
I've looked at GU for a little bit. I think it's a little bit tough. It's kind of one of those, like, it's good to trade in the London, but for MY it's gonna be a little bit of a painful one, because it's so, like, you know, you've got the both influences, you know, pound and the USD. So if there's a day that they're both strong, you could get either range or very choppy price action. If there's a day they're both weak, same place. It only really works when one's really weak, one's really strong, you know. But with pound, I'd say pound yen is the best pair for me, because it's you got the pound, which is your riskier asset. So when there's like global optimism and stuff, or when investors want to be a little bit more risky, they put their money in the pound, right? But when there's uncertainty in the market, you know, things like Brexit, etc., that's why you see that influx of JPY, because of the safe haven flow. So I think personally it works really, really well. Right, let's start. Okay, good morning everybody on the YouTube. How we doing? So the bias is bullish for me, and I'm liking the way it's retracing. Obviously right now it's respecting this area. Like if it closes below this kind of zone here, obviously it may seem like, oh no, we're respecting that area on the hourly. Yeah, I don't really care, because for me, we're closing back above here. It makes sense if we start to see this next candle either retrace, or if it closes somewhere over here, it's still going to be enough range to then expect the next candle to continue with our 7 AM volume. So I'm pretty sweet with the retracement right now. I want it to retrace. That's what I want. That's fine. 5 minute comes down. If we start to create like 5 minute support, we know that we're going to start heading back up. You know, unless this 30-minute closes below, then this is a major rejection.
If it closes up like this, do you reckon stops below 30? Could be good.
Stop below 30 should be sweet. Yeah, I think Stops below
don't
30.
have
If
to
you can
do
help
the
it,
other stop.
you'd want it below
That's not too
the.
bad.
Yeah, 15's pretty good because it's going to give you about a 1-to-1. But you know, once it starts moving into profits, you can start pulling your stop below the current candle. But I do want it to retrace because, you know, we don't really want to be taking a buy here, and then if we do actually get like a deeper pullback, we got to sit in a, you know, a load of drawdown or whatever. Boom, 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 boom. Thing is, if that last like little bit of the candle starts to flip bullish, this could easily go right back up to its own high. Right, so whoever's on the stream early, we're potentially looking for buys over here in a minute. So, well, I'm probably going to be executing buys in a minute. But we'll see. Yeah, I think stop below the 30 minutes should be good. Because that's like a 12 pip stop, 14 pip reward. I'm pretty happy with that. If it can close where it is, maybe if the next one starts pushing down quite early on, that would be sweet.
I'm going to wait to see how it opens the next candle.
Fair enough, fair enough. I think with 7 volume we should smash through this. So maybe waiting for the 30 wasn't too bad then. Yeah, it's not a bad close. Pretty sweet with that. Yeah, I executed buys there. So I'm expecting 7 AM volume to continue us moving bullish. Stop is below the previous 30-minute candle and looking to target Asian highs. So 150 is the target there. Obviously I'm expecting a little bit of drawdown, but overall should be pretty good. I know we closed right at that area, so we might like react to it right now, but I think based off once this 5 minutes starts to create support, we should be pretty good at that point. So in a trade nice and early, but then if you want to take entries, you're going to get a much better stop loss at this point here. But that's what I'm looking at right now. I just thought I'd get in on the close, stops below, and just target there and get my trade and be done. Get break even for the week, call this week off, and then come back next week much better prepared. That's my plan, that's my shout. I'm not so worried if it starts breaking the 15 low. I'd only be concerned if we get a 15 closing back below that area. Then I'll be a little bit like, oh, okay. Dodge. But with the 7 AM volume, we should continue bullish. Look how the 1 hour close. Yeah, 1 hour close at this area, but same thing happened yesterday, right? We closed at that area, but since what we did with the closure back, you know, how it did it yesterday, we just smashed right through that, didn't we? And if we've got the volume there, we should head up. So, we'll see. But first 5 minutes is going to do whatever. Obviously we can pull back down to here It's just whether the first 15-minute candle closes below or not is all that's gonna bother me.
I want to see us pull back to like this support here, and then start to see a reaction off it.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I just do want to be careful at this level here. Like,
That's fair enough. I personally think we'll be sweet, in my opinion. I mean, you could maybe take it as it flips. That might give you a better shout. Then you can argue, okay, we've started to make the bottom wick at this point. You know, you can. There's plenty of ways to look at it. But good morning, everyone on the YouTube. Very, very quiet. We've got not many people here, but we haven't been going that long. But obviously, if we start breaking to if we get stopped, then it means that this area was strong. But I think we should smash through it. We've got volume coming in now, so I don't see personally why not. The other thing as well for me is that obviously the same thing happened yesterday, right? Where we basically closed at that 1 hour zone, but still managed to smash through it. So we'll see. I think if people are like, you know, they don't want to be sitting in the drawdown, then to know whether this candle's made its bottom wick or not, you want to basically see a 5-minute support being created, because then it'll be a high level of 5-minute support. So if you get a bullish 5-minute candle, then that to me indicates that the bottom wick has been created, and then we should start continuing moving up. But I just don't want to see this 15-minute candle closing back below like 149.965. That's all for me, really. But even that might not actually be the be all and end all, but that's a little bit important, I suppose. Joey's in. Nice. Yeah, it's a good shout, I think. It's a good shout. You know, for me, I know that in terms of probabilities, if we're closing back above our Asian lows, there's a higher probability that we're going to continue bullish back up to the Asian highs. Did you put an entry? Yes. What do you mean, did I put an entry? Yeah, I took an entry. Yes.
Yeah, got it as it flipped. This should be good now.
Oh, it's just about flipped. Not yet. It's just, there you go. Now it's flipped. So yeah, if this is the bottom wick created, then we should see price continue bullish, fill this wick over here, and then continue up to our Asian high, this level here. That's the plan. Gonna get out at 150 and call it a day.
I just want to see some kind of a bottom wick.
Yeah, I hear that one. Yeah, 5 minute. As long as this 5-minute candle closes bullish, we should be good. Grow of confidence. We said next time we see this, ain't gonna miss it. Obviously, it can still lose, but still. You know,
Back above Asian lows.
yeah, we know that there's a probability to this. Happened on Monday, just did not pay attention to it. We should have been in those bad boys. That's cool. It's Thursday. We're looking to catch it today. Once we start breaking this 30-minute high, should be nicely off. Targeting 150, 150. So I've got like 5 pips already over here, 6 pips. So anyone in the trade,
Broken the high.
yeah, it's broken the high at this point.
Yeah.
So we should be moving further bullish. Yeah, this 30-minute candle doesn't really have business breaking its own low at this point. Yeah, as long as I can bang back the loss, I'm pretty happy with that.
Exactly that.
But nice, bright and early. I think it should be good now. I think it should be very good. We go approaching 7 pips. Yeah, we should move up to 150 at this point. Got 8 pips over here. But yeah, what did you mean by did I put an entry, Kelvin? Sorry, just because this is what you would be suggesting, right? I did put an entry. This is where I entered on the close of the 30-minute candle, stops below, looking to target this resistance here. Pretty simple. And I did say, you know, I'd said it a few minutes before, said what I was waiting for from the start of the stream. Those who showed up bright and early, right? You know what was going on. You know what I was looking for. You know where the targets were. You knew, yeah. So yeah, looking on the 5-minute, this 5-minute candle should close bullish, and then the next one should continue. 15-minute candles, last 5 minutes should just be a nice little squeeze. But yeah, the same thing happened yesterday, right? We closed at that 1 hour level, and obviously everyone was a little, you know, I was even a bit spooked, like, oh yeah, you know, we could reject here, does it make sense? But we know, you know, if you pay attention to what happened in your session, that's when I saw, okay, it makes complete sense to continue. And don't worry if this 30-minute starts to retrace, because it's going to be the new 5-minute candle making a bottom wick. It may even pull back a little bit, but it doesn't really matter, because look, the trend is bullish on the 5. The higher time frames are in your direction. The 30-minute candle, 15-minute candle, all in your direction. 1 hour candle's bullish, 4 hour candle's bullish. You know, look at the 4 hour now. Does it make sense to push up to here? To me, it does. So we've got 19 minutes for that candle as well. So we should be sweet. It's taking its time. Actually, should get there. There we go. Should be on our way. We've got 150, 100. Got like 8 pips so far, 9 pips, should be approaching 10 pips in a sec. So for those of you who's executed buys, you should be approaching 10 pips very, very soon.
Last little squeeze.
Yeah, come on, Jeej. Yeah, I always like to see the next candle just go to target. I hate being where it's like 2-3 candles. I mean, this 15's got like 2 minutes to close. I'd rather do it in this 15, because then we might have to sit through another bottom wick. but should be sweet. It depends. Depends if we got the volume or not. Last little 2-minute push, GJ. But either way, you're in profits. You're comfortable now in the trade, so you know you can manage this trade very, very nice accordingly, can't you? At this point, you know, some people might say, okay, well, if it comes back to my entry, I'm gonna start to take some risk off. Some people might say, okay, well, I might put stuff to break even. Each to their own. But when you're in profits, you have that option, don't you? But yeah, it might pull back a little bit because we're coming to the 15 close, but the next 15 should push us up. Obviously, we don't really like the pullbacks. Don't really want to sit through another 15-minute bottom wick, but we might have to. Did I buy GBP JPY? I don't know what to say to that one. Yes, Mohammed, I did buy GBP JPY. I did. Yes, I did. Okay, why doesn't the 30-minute have a bottom wick? It does. It does have a bottom wick. That might be your resolution or something. Okay, 50-minute candles closing bullish. Yeah, we should see the next one still go bullish. Now you see the wick. Okay, fair enough. Fair dues. Oh, is it a last 10-second one here now? Don't know wick us though. That will be slightly dodge. Yeah, it's pretty strong. 15 close. Right, we've got the new 15-minute candle opening up at this point. So, I mean, yeah, we might have to sit through a little bit of a bottom wick, but should still be good. Should be good to go. It's just how it goes. Ooh, nasty pullback. I wanted, yeah, I wanted it. I wanted this 15 to do the moves. I didn't have to sit through it, but yeah, just patience, man. We've got to have patience, innit? I mean, even let's say even if this 30-minute closes bearish, you know, we know that okay, the next one should still continue. I don't really want to sit through all that profit drawdown, but you know, we know as long as stops are in the right place and TP's in the right place, it should go. But come on, GJ, you can do better than that. Nice little liquidity grab on the 5 would be sweet. But we're coming into nice volume time now. Last 15 of no, not last 15 of the hour. Just gotta be patient. I like literally like 10 pips nearly.
Yeah, it went like 9.8, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, me personally, I just have I have targets at this point, so I'll be targeting. I'm targeting 150, 150. So all in all, it's about 11 with spread. About 12. Still pretty good for me. Just hate these situations like this, you know. But as long as either 5-minute candle creates support or this candle is going to create a bottom wick and start to flip, but either way, we'll see. we will see. Is retracing quite deep. Come on, 15 minute. You don't need to do us like that. Hopefully it's generating some nice liquidity though. Once this 15 minute candle flips, I have no doubt we'll be heading off to 150. Playing with us today. I'm glad I didn't put stops to break even though, because now you would be in panic mode. Yeah, basically even if this 5 minute candle closes bearish, all we need is the next 5 minute candle to go bullish, or we need a 5 minute support to be created, and that's how you know the bottom wick is being created. If the next 5 minute candle starts breaking above this 5 minute high, then to me that signals this is the bottom wick of that 15 minute candle has been created at that moment. Then we should continue. And plus we still got like 10 minutes left for the 30 minute candle, and yeah, it should have usually the last 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, there's some form of a push. GBP is strong. Yeah, GBP should be strong. Yeah. I never look at it, but let's look at the Chinese indicator thing. I know Roger likes to look at that, but I used to actually I think it was you that actually showed that to me ages ago, Kelsey. Do you remember?
Yeah.
It's like 2 years ago you showed this to me.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so they're saying...
Yeah, I think it was Michael that found it.
Yeah, he did. So yeah, this GBP is fairly strong. JPY is, yeah, it's in the middle, but GBP is stronger, which is what we want, of course. So it's pretty good. 15 minute candle bottom wick, is that being created? Oh, it closed like a doji 5 minute. So we'll have to see. Could be the bottom wick creation now. Depends. If this 5 minute starts breaking above these highs, then yeah, we're good. But yeah, I think that's just obviously a little bit of a joke, but how you can actually know whether the pound is strong is just by looking at the candles, man. Look at the candles. Can you see? Obviously the structures was bearish, but looking at the candles, you can see candles are bullish, which means that there's more higher probability of price continuing up. So last 10 minutes here, we're back at our own high, which is good. Come on, GJ. But yeah, and they're saying NZD is very strong as well. USD also strong, so that means GU should be moving pretty good. But if USD is strong and pound is strong, that means GU will be a little bit more choppy. Oh, I don't like the look of this 5 minute, I must admit.
Yeah, it was either gonna just ramp up or it's just gonna dump.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, no, it's dodgy 5 minute, that one.
As long as it's for me, I'd like to see this 30 at least just close
bullish
above here.
Oh yeah,
and then
of course.
Fine.
Oh yeah, of course. But still, it's just like, since the way I used to trade, it's like we like to just go straight into profit, stops to break even, etc. But the way it's moving today, it's like what I mean.
especially when you're like around 10 pips.
Yeah.
You know, you had the choice to put stops or break even, but you want to also just let it play out.
Yeah, of course. I know, that's the thing. I think it's just because of how like tight the range is. We should just, you know what I mean? You just want to see it be cleaned, really. You know, you just want to see this candle just push, like mirror. You want to see this candle mirror this candle. So, you know, maybe it's just pulling back in the last 5 minutes, and then we should see some fat off squeeze towards the end potentially. I mean, we know there's 730 volume, but the only thing is we haven't had a. So have we had a pullback? We had a little bit of a pullback at 615, but not necessarily yet properly. So I mean, this could maybe just be a pullback candle on the 15, but it just does mean it's, you know, high chance it's going to come back to the entry, and well, if it does, it is what it is, isn't it? It literally went, yeah, 9.8. Okay. 30-minute bullish. Yeah, the 30-minute candle is bullish. As long as it closes bullish and strong, then we should be. It'll be fine. But obviously, what we don't want is this 15-minute candle to start like properly retracing. You know, we want to see this close maybe like a weak bearish. You know, or even just do the move would be nice. To be honest.
Just let the candles close, and then you can make the decisions.
Yeah, exactly. Because when the candle comes back to your entry, it's like it's very like I don't know how to say it, like it's a tough situation, you know, because you had nearly 10 pips. Do you want to go and potentially be back in drawdown and then have it hit your target? Like, we know that can happen a lot of times, but still, you know, I think from a like how you want, like from a psychological point of view, it just feels it's always nicer to, you know, just see it go into your direction. And do you know what I mean? Obviously a little bit of drawdown at the start is always expected, because, you know, like candles need to make a bottom wick and whatnot. But for me, it was like, you know, I used to, you know, now usually I'll be putting stops to break even, you know, because we had like 10 pips already, you know. So we'll see. It's last 5 minutes now, so yeah, this could be the make or break of whether it's going to pull back to the entry or whether we're just going to break this high and continue. So we will see. But we know we got 730 is a good time for volume, so 730 could just pump us up, but also 730 can pull us back as well if there's not been a pullback, which there hasn't yet. There hasn't really yet, unless this 15-minute candle closes bearish, then this will be a pullback. So then we need to see the next one break the highs to continue. But yeah, personally, I just want to get this trade over and done with by like 8 AM, and then we can have a chill the rest of the stream. Are you a Raja student still? No, I do my own thing. I concentrate on H. Got my own group now, do my own thing, but I still keep in contact with Raja though. Like now, I just learn from like my own mistakes, you know. I don't seek anybody. I just go and look at my own mistakes and just try and figure out, you know, how I could have done better. I don't go to his live streams, nothing. Just do my own live streams, do my own trading. So we'll see. Yeah, if this 5 minutes starts to surpass the high, I think we're sweet for the last 5 minute candle to do something nice. If it can't, then we're gonna be potentially back in a little bit of drawdown. Where's the volume gone, man? This is a dodgy 5 minute. But yeah, I'm actually cool with looking at it now. If this was me like a year ago, I'd be properly like, ooh, do you know what I mean? Yeah, but I just like looking at it because I know, okay, if the 5 minute candle breaks the high, if it starts to go bullish, if it closes a strong bullish candle, then there's a good chance, you know, the next 15 minute candle will just make a little bit of a bottom wick and then continue, you know. But when you start to see 5 minute candles go bearish, that's when you know you're just going to start coming back to your entry. So then I can start to think about how I want to deal with the situation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Ouch. I think we're going to see this candle close bearish. Right, we've got 30 seconds left for the 30 minute candle to close. I really thought this 30 minute would mirror that candle, but it's still closing bullish, so we'll see. We should see the next one continue up. Oh, see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Dodgy. Yeah, it's gonna be coming back to our entry a little bit. But we need volume like this. So 705 had volume, so maybe 735 is gonna have volume. Don't know. Have to see. So yeah, 15 minute candle closed bearish. 30 minute candle closed bullish. But the 30 minute candle, it did close like a little bit of a weaker 30 minute candle. Just slightly, because it couldn't really close above this wick. So we need this 30 minute candle to basically start pushing up pretty early on to fill the wick, and then once it breaks the high, we should be off. One hour candle also still bullish. 30 minute is pumping up a little bit, which is good. So yeah, I think we could be alright. But it's going to be a bit annoying if we start to go into drawdown after such a nice move straight into profit. So we'll chill. Let's see what happens anyway. Right, let's get a few questions. Hi bro, I just started to watch London session. Do you have any advice for me? I know NY and NYC, we have huge volume. How about London time? London sometime have manipulation time. I think if my advice for you for London session would be to like watch it, you know, like go watch it live for, you know, like a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks. That's going to give you a good insight into how the London session moves. That's the first thing you always want to do, in my opinion, to, you know, better your chances of understanding how the London session works. And then the next thing I would go and do is go look back at what maybe happened throughout the month in the session, where maybe you'd like to have entered in that trade, where your stops would be, targets, etc. But in terms of like volume times, etc., so I know obviously you're talking about NY, NYC, so those are two big volume times for the time that you trade. With the London session, we tend to see volume come in either at 7. So 7 AM is either your pullback or your volume. So what I mean by that is we can have volume come in at 7, but it might be like a pullback candle. You know, it could be a pullback candle, but either way, 7 AM is a volume time. 7:30 can also be a volume time as well. So 7:30 AM can do 7:30 can also give you a good amount of volume. Another good time would obviously be 8 AM. So 8 a.m. is your London Open. So that's your main one. This is your main volume time, because obviously that's the London session open. So that's when there's the most volume in the market. 7 a.m. is like kind of like your pre-London. 7:30 sometimes, you know, like where you may see some volume come in because we're approaching that London Open. But this is where the madnesses happen. And this is where you either have those big ass pushes or those big ass pullbacks, which stops everybody out and just moves like crazy. So yeah, in terms of the London session, that's how I would view it. After 8 is like volume can come in pretty much any time, because that's when the official London Open has begun, right? Right, what's going on here with pound yen?
Only thing I'm concerned about right now is like seems like we are making this could be a lower high made, and we continue to drop.
I don't know. We may need to make a bottom wick on this 30 and the 15, so we can't really see. Like I say, 7:30 is either going to be a pullback or a continuation, but at the end of the day, I got my target in mind. You know, we had stops in the right place. You know, as long as we, to be honest, as long as we stay above 199.60, you know, we should continue up. But it obviously it ain't nice being into profit, coming into drawdown. Potentially, if you start breaking that dirty low, it's going to be a bit panic mode. But I don't know, like if we go back through the data, I suppose we just have to be, you know, confident with it. What I kind of want to see is a solid 5-minute support being created, because then, you know, once you start getting a solid 5-minute support being created, that like we should continue with the trend, you know, because this is the trend on the 5, like this. So we're in that kind of vicinity where we need to see bullish 5-minute candles here, ideally, and then start pushing back up to here and extend. So we had that one close bearish. Yes, me. Don't know. Gonna have to chill for a minute. Gonna have to chill for a hot sec. But there we go. I may want to do a retest of this area as well. Just want to see a solid 5-minute candle bullish, and then I'll be like happy, you know. I'll be like,
oh, that's what I'm thinking. I might want to retest some level first.
Yeah.
Just got to let it do its thing.
Yeah, we gotta let it do its thing at the end of the day. Gotta let it do its thing, otherwise we just. That's it. Right. Good morning. What's up, people? Good morning. Good morning. Thanks, bro. I really. That was really helpful. I would take your advice by looking at it. Yeah, no worries. I think that's, yeah. I would advise go watch the session, to be honest. Go review how the session went. But yeah, like we said, 7:30 can either be your volume or your pullback. Just by the way that other 15 closed, I really thought we'd continue, but maybe it wants to create some further support. You know what I mean? I think this is our key level on the 15 minute here. I may want to do a retest, maybe create a support, start heading back up. But yeah, if people are in these buys, obviously you can manage it however you like. If you want to take partials off when you get to your entry, that's up to you. If you wanted to secure at 9.8, then you should have secured at 9.8. So hopefully this is the 15 bottom wick now, which I would like this. That would be a nice rejection 5-minute style candle. If it starts to surpass the high, I'm gonna be pretty happy with that. Should be respecting our little trend there on the 5. But we'll see, because we've got to wait for the 5-minute count to close, otherwise you don't know. Gotta wait for it to close, because once this trade is done, I'm getting a cup of tea. That's what I'm doing. Don't know about you guys, but I'm getting a nice hot drink. Come on, GJ. Really makes no sense at times. Come on, man. But yeah, if this was me previously, how I would have dealt with the situation: you had profits, pulls back to your near your entry. If it came back to my entry, not now. I'm gonna do this because I'm really anticipating us to continue. But usually I would say, okay, if this comes back to my entry, I'll be closing maybe half of the position, taking some risk off the trade, making it less risk position. But I think we just need this 5-minute candle to close bullish, and then we have a support form, right? One thing I want to do eventually as well is I want to go back and see what exact time is there potentially volume coming in. Do you know what I mean? Like from a 5-minute, you can actually see the direct, like, let's say for example we knew 7:05 presented volume today. Like I bet if you went back through the week, go see what 7:05 did. Should be a nice close. Yeah, come on. Come on, 5-minute. I think it's closing bullish over here. So hopefully this is the 15-minute candle bottom wick. But we'll see. We only got 3 minutes left for this 15-minute count. No way. I thought it was more than that. Yeah, see, this is why I'm glad I'm on the smaller lot sizes, because it makes it a lot easier to like hold the trade, because previously you'd be feeling a little bit like, you know what I mean. What is your analysis on gold today? I'll take a look at gold in a minute. I'm trying to wait to see what GJ does here in a sec. I still think the buys are like still valid, but it's just like we are gonna get potentially pulled back into drawdown. So it's whether you're comfortable with that or not. If you're comfortable with it, then go with it. But if you're not, then you're not. But if you are, then go with it. Right, it's going to be a little bit more of a waiting game now to start going back into profits. I thought since that 5-minute created support we would start to push up, but I mean, yeah, it's still very much open. We'll look at gold in a minute. I just want to see how we set up here, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm probably going to wait to see how the hour closes. Because if the hour closes, I say back below 0.20, I don't think buys are valid. Because it will be respecting. Yeah.
I hear you.
But I don't think I'll be closing off 15 minutes. 30 minute can easily flip.
I mean, this ain't really much of a 15-minute candle, even if it closes as it is. Like, to me, it's not really like a 15-minute candle. You need to like necessarily think, oh, we're gonna pump down. Do you know what I mean? So let's see. It's got 1 minute left. Oh, that's nice. That's what I like to see. That is what I love to see. That's what you wanted. Yes, that is a beautiful rejection. Gotta have faith. Gotta have faith. Yeah, that's a nice 5-minute candle. As long as it can close bullish, I think that should be sweet as a nut. But that's the type of rejection style candle that you can actually look for on the 5-minute, like, you know, down over here, you know, that happened over here. These type of rejection style 5-minute candles are going to show you potentially, you know, whether we're going to start pushing up or start pushing down. So that was nice to see. Oh, look at this. Oh, what's that noise?
Nice.
Oh, here we go. 15 minutes about. Oh, lovely. 15-minute candle closed bullish. It closed above the previous 15-minute candle. Yeah, we should continue up at this point. 30-minute candle moved up to nearly filled the 30-minute wick. This next 15-minute candle should create a little bit of a bottom wick and then continue moving up. Yeah, we should continue bullish at this point. That was such a nice 5-minute candle. That was a really nice rejection style 5-minute candle. 740 this 5-minute candle was.
I mean, it even got above the 5-minute mini resistance anyway.
Yeah, and the 15. And now we're back in a good position of profit, you know, so it's not the end of the world at this point. So I think we should see this final push up now in the last 15. This has been a bumpy ride. Been a bumpy ride. Yes, come on, 30-minute, break the high. Once the 30-minute candle breaks the high, guys, I think TP is going to be on its way here today. And those who have been really, really patient should get paid. I got my target at 150, so I'm going to close full positions. Full positions.
Yeah, I think you've earned this one.
Yeah, it's been a struggle, mate. Definitely a mental struggle. Yeah, but I think for me, this is why it's good, like, because obviously I've kind of changed the style slightly, not necessarily the strategy, but the way I play the trade. So for me, it's a lot easier to cope with it with a lot lower lot size compared to if I had my old 5 lots on this. You know, if I had a 5 lot and I had like £400, and then you're back to like nearly £10. It's a bit demoralizing, you know.
Yeah.
But we should be good. Should be good. Either way, we've created support, right? So even if this candle does close bearish, that wouldn't be ideal, but we'll see. At least it's filled the 30-minute wick. This has been one crazy trade, I tell you now. This has been a real test of a trade. You know, this has been a mind testing trade. And then once this trade's over, I will do your gold. I will look at gold in a minute. I think if you want to gold buys, the whole move basically started very early in the London session. So if you're looking for further gold buys, you gotta wait for support, man. You gotta wait for support to form. 100% you gotta wait for support. Does not like this 120 level, does it? Is there anything there?
After
No, not
after
really.
a 5 minute like that, though, you just expect next one to just carry on.
Yeah, you would, but sometimes like they just, yeah, I mean, depends, innit? Oh, this has been a very testing trade. Very testing. We should see some nice volume coming into 8 AM, but I'd rather be out of it by 8 AM, if you know what I mean. Hopefully this bearish 5-minute candle is the 15 bottom wick, and then the next 5-minute candle as it breaks the high will continue us moving up, based on the fact that this is the 15-minute bottom wick. Would make sense. But yeah, so we planned, we executed, and that's what you can do, you know? You got a plan, you execute, and that's it. Right, so I had that 5-minute close. Yeah, not the strongest, so as long as we break the highs on the 5-minute. Once we surpass 150, 117, we'll move on. 150, 117. One-hour candle, because in the last 10 minutes of the 1-hour candle, that's usually when there's a further push. Maybe I think it's maybe reacting to this little resistance here, but that should be fine. We should clean this. But it's been a battle. But yeah, we'll break down gold in about 9 minutes time. And by the way, guys, we're going to finish the stream a little bit earlier today. Probably around 9 AM we're going to finish today. Got to shoot off a little bit earlier. Oh, here we go again. Come on, 30 minute, what are you playing at? It really does not like this 118. 118.
It's hard, isn't it? Because we kind of are fighting the trend a little bit.
Yeah, higher time frame, but I mean, like we discussed this whole move. You know, we discussed this whole move. We know where the targets were. We should hit the target. This is brutal, man. Oh, look at this now. Surely not. It's kind of like the 5 minutes almost consolidating a little bit. We need a little more volume to come in.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. Because we had a little push a bit earlier on.
Yeah. Oh no, let's see how this closes. Let's say this 15 closes weak, bearish, and then the 30-minute candle closes like up over here. Then I think I'm gonna put stops to break even, because then it's literally like a 4 or 5 pip squeeze at London Open. All it has to do, and then do you know what I mean? We'll just basically play that off, put stops to break even, and then there's no reason for it to come back to our entry, if that makes sense. But you never know. This could be because, you know, if we are fighting the trend, like we said, like, you know, there's going to be a lot of liquidity kind of generated. But what we just don't want is this 15 to, like, let's say close below this minor support. I think if it did that, I'll probably just close the trade. I ain't really looking to sit back through any drawdown after this. I'm mentally exhausted from this situation right here. So GJ, it's all up to you. But I'm gonna watch it on the 5 as well, see how we get on. Because if this candle meant that we have no range to go further and this one closes bearish, then I don't want London Open to just start pulling us right back. Do you know what I mean? So because that would just be a madness. But those who have been still holding these buys, I do take my hat off to you. But my personal play, like I've said, is if we come to London Open and this dirty ain't closing strong, I'm going to put stops to BE.
I've already moved my stops below previous 30-minute anyway, just to make it tighter.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad shout. Obviously, at that point, it would be, you know, less of a loss, as they say. But you could, you know, you could still potentially have a loss, but it will be less of a loss. $7.55 is usually a nice time to give us a push. If we start breaking above that, oh, here we go.
Wow.
Okay, nice. This is what I'm saying. If this candle closes like a weak bearish, then I'm gonna put stops to break even.
Just retesting that 15-minute support.
Man, this has been an absolute beast of a trade. Come on now. You should 100% start to move us up. No.
The last few minutes, just do something, please.
Yeah, trust. Yeah, on this candle close, I'm going to put stops to break even.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea at all.
It's just...
It is struggling big time.
Yeah, it shouldn't be this much of a struggle. Especially how we had volume at 630, a little bit of 7, and then like just slightly less at 730. 730 is usually a beast. That 5 does not look good if it flips. Yeah, this is having a giggle, innit? Right, we've got 2 minutes left, and then I'm gonna put stops to break even. Oh, this is just... Man, it's playing games with us at this point. This is brutal from pound yen. Makes no sense. Man, GJ, what are you playing at? This has been crazy trade, man. This week's been nuts. Don't know what to say. Speechless.
Oh wow.
I closed at break even.
I had break even at stop, just still hasn't tapped me out yet.
Nah, I closed. I ain't liking it. I'm out. Man, what a situation. Minus £1. Damn.
That's gonna see that 1 hour. Maybe it did struggle to break above. I'm out as well.
Yeah, yeah, I don't like this at all. This is a fat off rejection 5-minute candle. So there we go, break even.
I've got slipped. It's not even coming up with. It's not even coming up with the profit or loss.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow, look at this, man. The 1 day. So here we are, London Open. Imagine London Open just runs to target at this point. But I don't think it makes sense to, based on this 15-minute candle closure. To me, I think it's going to start pushing back down into drawdown.
Yeah, I think it's heading down.
One hour candle basically closed at that area. Right at it. If it pumps up now, I mean, I don't know. It is what it is, in it, but still, I weren't really liking it. Like I say, from a structural point of view, like it's still above the Asian lows. It does make sense to continue, but I just can't bother to sit through this anymore. It's driving me nuts.
Say you get an exact break-even trade. Is that why it's not coming up with any figures? Because it's the exact same price. Like
maybe. I don't know.
Would you?
Refresh your refresh your app and then see.
Can have a look on the computer. Yeah, it says 000.
Then you got exactly break even.
Yeah, less commission.
Man, if London Open continues us up, that'll be a madness.
Is it pushing up?
Yeah, it is, yeah. But to be honest, I just did not. The thing is, the 30 did respect that area, but it was like, I don't know. I was just, yeah, it was one of those, innit?
See, like the way the 1 hour closed, yeah. I mean, the 30-minute area respecting, but the way the 1 hour closed for me, I would have probably closed out on the close anyway. Just don't think we're heading up.
Even like we still could head up, but it might like pull back into drawdown, and you know what I mean. I can't be asked for that, man. Especially if the 4 hour wants to respect that area that you spoke about, 150.020. but I mean, it very well could obviously go bullish. But I mean, if it does, then we had the like the idea was all correct, etc., etc. But it was just a brutal day. It is pumping up though, to be fair. Maybe it is going to continue. Yeah, 7:30, like I said, clearly was the pullback. But based on the way the 15-minute candle closed, it broke below the support there. So that's what kind of like put me off the whole idea. But yeah, looks like the 30 minutes already moving up back to 150, 118. Hey, why are you not closing the position at 8-9 if it's struggling like that? Because I have my targets. You know, I know where I wanted to close the position, and there's just no point closing at like 8-9 pips because the risk was much more than that. So for me, it made no sense. Okay. Did you take any gold trades? No. Didn't take any gold trades. You pushed it out of that, exactly, breaking lows, let your trade play out. You need some confidence in your trades. I hear what you're saying, mate, but for me, you know, it was like I wanted to see this 30-minute push up. We had 10 pips in profit, then we pulled back to entry, then I had profit again, then it's pulling back to entry. You know, it's not the easiest situation to just hold it, but I hear what you're saying. The analysis is still valid, right? You know, but still, yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. You know, part of being a trader is making decisions, isn't it? You know, sticking to your own decision, right? If I'm not comfortable in this position, if anything, you know, that's not necessarily a bad thing, is it? Because if you're not comfortable, let's say you're not comfortable and the trade is a losing trade, you're gonna sit there and think, oh, why did I not take partials off at break even? Why did I not do this? You know, if it does end up hitting target, yeah, you could argue, I'm gonna say, oh, why didn't I hold it? But you have to go what you feel with at the time, right? Because otherwise, you know, you're never gonna improve. But yeah, you're trading off the 30-minute, but let 1 5-minute pullback at the end of the hour get you out of the trade. No, it wasn't just about the 5-minute pullback. If this is support, we had a 15-minute candle come down and it broke this support, right? It broke this support. I know London Open, you know, London Open can be very unpredictable. We can see a pullback back down to here before we start shooting up if it really wants to. I don't particularly want to be involved with that if it's going to do that. Plus the fact that the 1 hour candle closed below that zone again. So that's the second 1 hour candle that done that. It may continue bullish. It really may do. And I hope it does, because then, you know, at the end of the day, is that there'll be a lesson to be learned from it, won't there? But, you know, everyone's got to do what they're most comfortable with, right? Is that not fair to say? But yeah, it looks like it is going to continue up at this point. At the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, if that 15-minute candle had not closed below there, I would still be in the buys. And yeah, it looks like it's going to continue. But that's fine.
Yeah, to be honest, like, if this 1 hour, the previous 1 hour closed slightly higher, then you'd be respecting that level. I'd have stayed in it as well. And I just had stops below this 1 hour.
Yeah, no, but I hear what he's saying, because I've always said I'm trying to get to a point where, you know, I am trying to let trades hold, and now it would start to be heading towards target. And I completely agree that, you know, looking at it now, of course, you know, of course now it seems like it's going to head to target, and that's completely fine. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm not the perfect trader. I'm nowhere near where I want to be in trading. So for me, I have to do what feels comfortable, and then if I, look back and say, all right, it still played out, I look at my situation and will say, all right, you have to learn from that point of view. But I understand what you're saying. It wasn't necessarily about the 5-minute pullback. That wasn't what it was. It was the fact that the 15 closed below support here. Here we go. I think target's about to be reached. 8 minutes and we would have had it. Basically reached 140 there. So yeah, like I was saying, I mean, from a 30-minute point of view, yeah, it never broke back below. But I just hated this situation of how much drawdown it was in, and
yeah, I mean, from the 30, it still looks good. But then 15-minute and the 1 hour showing you signs of possible rejections.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the other thing as well, in all honesty, is because of the fact that I've only taken 2 trades this week now, and if I didn't want to take if I had profits and I let it turn into a losing trade, I'm going to be sitting there feeling pretty bad, so I'd rather have a break even and say, all right, look, the analysis was there, so I should have had, there you go, target reached at this point. Yeah, look, it is what it is. It is what it is now. It's done. It went where we said.
I think you made the right choice, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think when I look back, I'll probably say I didn't, but that's how trading works, because then that's how you look to say, all right, look, next time what I could do.
Yeah, I mean, you might say that because it went up and hit the target, but 8 a.m. volume, it could have quite easily come down and hit your stop, So exactly. I think after sitting through all of that, I think you've done the right thing, just closing.
Yeah.
Break.
Yeah, fair enough. We'll see.
Especially now, though.
Yeah. There you go. There's your 8 a.m. volume now, man. But the whole move was anticipated. So there you go. Anyway, it's done now. Everyone learns different. Yeah. I have done that thing many times where you close a trade, then it turns and goes where you have predicted, but sometimes closing can save you because you're not controlling the market. Yeah, that's another good point. But still. Anyway, it's done now, so that's it, really. If I'd got a better entry, if I'd gotten on that kind of like bottom wick, then I mean,
thinking that
we probably would have just said, if we're struggling here, let's just take partials and then put stops to break even. But of course, I just wanted to get in on the close. I wasn't really like looking to. But then yeah,
I would have got in on the bottom wick if we actually tapped into this zone first and then started retracing maybe like here.
Yeah, I hear that one. Anyway,
and
look,
I never got stopped.
Yeah. Anyway, at the end of the day, it's another lesson learned, and that's all you have to do is just treat every day like a lesson. And I'm so sure some people would have held that trade, and so some people on the YouTube stream should have got a nice win. But there you go. Anyway, let's yeah, it's done now. Okay, cool. Yeah, dude, I'm here supporting you. You know my name from Slack. I like to see everyone succeed. Just giving you my analysis. No, I appreciate that. No, I do appreciate it. At the end of the day, like, you have to do what you're gonna do what you feel in the moment, aren't you? And no matter whether you look back and say, oh, I should have done this, should have done that, once you make that decision, it's done with. So the best thing to do is just revise your decision, and that's all you can do, But I hear what you're saying, and it does, that type of confidence takes a long time, and I haven't even got used to really holding positions like that properly, Like I haven't actually got properly used to that yet. So when I do,
you didn't take a loss, So.
Yeah, I didn't take a loss. I mean, obviously that would have meant I made back the L from yesterday, so technically I should be in profit right now for the week, but we missed a lot of moves early on in the week, so I think this week's just got to be a learning curve week.
So maybe even that 15-minute was maybe the idea, and then
that's
you
the
could have
thing.
closed some, or just have stops to break even, and it would have never come back.
Well, I mean, because to be fair, on that 15-minute idea, that would have given us like 14, 15 on by 7. So yeah, to be fair, we would have been at least breaking. Yeah, that's a good shout. We could have got in there on that 15-minute because it kind of like closed above these candles here to the left. Yeah, I think we should have been in on the 15-minute. So necessarily, although we got in over here and we got break even, we can even look at the lesson and say, all right, well actually, if I got in somewhere over here, I wouldn't have had to worry about this crap because I would have been in BE over here, already secured 15 pips half position, and let the rest run over to here. You know, and that's going to take time to master. It's going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah, because like especially with these candles with no wicks, it's I'm still getting used to seeing that and being able to like be confident about taking entries.
Yeah.
But I suppose it was the first 15-minute of the 30, so.
Yeah, I get that, but I think we have to look at the fact that where did it close? You know, it broke above all these candles here to the left-hand side. Do you know what I mean? So the worst way I think what would have happened was the next one would break up and then close like bearish, but still respecting that area. And then we would have seen the actual 30-minute close above, so we basically would have got the same entry. But because it still pushed up, that's what gave you the opportunity to get a better entry. Would have had partials there maybe, or you know, even if we wanted to ride it all the way up to there, if we went BE from here because we saw this situation, it wouldn't have mattered. Do you know what I'm saying? So we basically tapped into it and it seems like we've rejected that area, but TP would have been hit. So yeah, just a learning lesson, man. Learning lesson. But next week I think I'm ready to go Hamza.
We still executed, that's the thing.
Yeah,
but we still got in it, so.
Yeah, and the session's not over either. You know, if you think about it, once we break above like 150, 160, we have this whole other range to complete. You know, daily's pretty bullish now. It's moving up. So. But yeah, the only one thing I would say is it did respect that area there on the 30-minute. And it does seem like, you know, yeah, it's done now, isn't it? That's it. Right. Let's get a few of these questions out of the way, and then I'm going to go get a drink, get a bit of fresh air. But I like how loads of people are left just because I'm not in a trade now. We've got plenty of other stuff to be looking at. Analysis. I mean, we could even get a re-entry somewhere, so. Although, there guys lost. Right. Okay, 100% agree. Trading is on probability. I get hurt once massively by trading a setup which I'm confident with. It worked 9 out of 10. I put too much emotion in when it failed. Yeah, it's just about fighting your emotions. And of course, my emotions were thinking, you know, my rationale was we couldn't break the 30 high. Seemed like a rejection. Coming into open, I thought we could do we would do something like this. You know, where we saw the next candle pull back to here. Even if it went down there and then drove up, it's like you've gone that much, you know, that much into profit and then pull back. So, but yeah, yeah. Anyway. Let's read these out. What will people say if you don't take it off and it burns you? They will say you can't trade and all these other insults that they say. That's also true. That's also very true. But still, I don't really care what people say anyway, so it doesn't bother me. Yeah, do what you feel. Until candles happen, you never know where it will go. Protecting capital, most important part. Yeah, that statement is what I agree with. Protecting capital is the goal, is the priority. So if that means break-even day, that means break-even day. But I think the fact of the matter is, right? I think the fact of the matter is, we took entries, we got stopped to break-even. However, was the TP hit in the end? Yes, it was. So the analysis was correct. So when I go back and I review and I say, okay, that's another situation that worked out. It's another piece of information to say, okay, next time this happens, I know what happened last time. I went break-even and it still went my way. So have more confidence. Because I'll be honest, you know, it wasn't lack of confidence because I held the whole thing. It was based on the situation. What I was seeing made me think, okay, makes sense to put stops to break even. But there you go. But can we re-enter buy now? Well, I'm not going to tell you to re-enter a buy. That's up to you. If you just want to take a buy, go ahead. Go ahead if that's what you want to do. But not me. I'm not going to re-enter a trade until we maybe see a support formed above Asian high. Maybe then I give re-entries, but not at the moment. Not at the moment. Okay, it's done, man. I need coffee. Yeah, go get yourself some coffee. I'm gonna get a cup of tea and I'm gonna leave you guys for a minute. You can never win on the internet. No, you can never win on the internet. You can never win on the internet. You do, but you win by not caring. You know, you've already won, because if you're not really, like, if you don't really care what people say about you, then I mean, what does it matter? What does it matter? But there you go. Alright, cool guys. I'll be back. Give me like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I'll be back and then we'll discuss. But we're gonna call it a day early here today. We are gonna finish off for 9 o'clock. So about 40 minutes. So yeah. Alright, cool. 5 minutes, I'll be back.
back. You must be missing me so bad. When you left, you said that I don't deserve you, but I can see that you don't wanna lose what we had. Oh, you're the one that I need. Let's just take it slow and just breathe. Loving someone is not easy, you know, but it makes us feel alive, so we go with the flow.
Right. I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, so what happened with GJ then? Seems like we rejected Asian highs.
I think as well, like, you think how much we've actually moved in the session. We were able to identify a trade and it didn't end up playing out.
Yeah.
Because previously, like, we'd look at this and think buys above somewhere. I don't know where, like maybe above 160, and then sells below 800, 820.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's very true. But yeah. Now, obviously, like having a even that little break from the charts for 10 minutes, you know, it gives you that little bit of time to just like reflect already. And obviously, I looked at it and I thought, you know what, we know from our like what I was trying to say, had I been up for the week, had other things been in place, I think it would have been a slightly different story. But obviously, there was a lot riding on the fact that, was this a rejection? Were we going to pull back, sit and draw down, and then go up? Very potentially, but I think as well, it was the way that I just didn't like that 15 close. If that not have done what it did, I think it would have been a completely different story, but still. Yeah, it's done now. But yeah, exactly, like when you do the data collection and stuff, you're not in the trade, you're not in that situation. You're not feeling that, do you close, do you this, do you that. That's where the emotion side does get involved, and you gotta try and control that. You gotta try and fight that, of course. So, but at the end of the day, like, that takes time and it takes just experience. And I think now we're starting to see these type of moves happen a lot more. We end up respecting that area there. If anything, you could argue that's a support formed above that area. So we were creating support above that. And now we continue, but anyway, I mean, it seems to have rejected Asian highs. So either we're just gonna range and then potentially start coming back down, or I don't know. But still, I mean, if you think about it, right, it wasn't a good day anyway. Like, it reached target, but in terms of GJ, like, let's compare this move to Monday, right? Let's go to Monday. This was Monday's move. Look at what 7 a.m. did. It completed the whole thing. Smash through here, hit here. We had these little pullbacks, but volume really did push. That's a proper volume day with the London session. If you think about the amount of pips it moved, right? Let's say from the entry, I don't know. Let's say that one 7 a.m. candle moved 30 pips. We haven't even moved 30 pips within 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, right? So from where the entry was, or let's just say we got in on the bottom wick, maximum we've moved is 16 to 17, 20 pips. Okay, fine. But from a volume point of view, a 20 pip move isn't really an influential move in the markets. That's just a bouncing between a range. That's a range. Do you know what I'm saying? We haven't broken out of nothing. We didn't break down below support. We didn't break resistance. So all in all, yeah, just that really. I think as well, like, this isn't to criticize what I'm currently doing, but let's say I wasn't live trading. And let's say I was just a normal trader. I did it on my own, didn't report to anybody, didn't teach anybody, didn't do anything, and I knew where my execution was, where I want to take profits, and where my stop loss was going to be. All I had to do was take a buy here, set my stop loss, put my take profit, and go piss off. And if it hits target, happy days. If it don't, it hits stop loss, because of the probability in the way I trade. Because while I'm here sitting looking at it, right? While I'm sitting here looking at it, I'm constantly analyzing what's going on while I'm in it. Whereas if I go away, if I'm not on the charts, if I'm not looking at other things, I'm worried about what's happening. I know, like, that's not, you know, that's not how it should be, but if you think about it, you know, if you was to do that every time, then where's your emotions side of the, you know, all you have to do is wait for your confirmation. You click buy, you go make a cup of tea, go make yourself some breakfast, come back, and you see TP here in about an hour and a half. It's a good point.
You can set an alert. You can say have an alert set for like maybe like anywhere like that. You never tapped into it.
Yeah, like you could set an alert to say, all right, if we start breaking the 30-minute low, I'll come to the charts. I'll see what's up. If we start to see closures below, then I mean I'll just close the trade and then go about my day. But you know, if I wasn't here sitting physically looking at it, like, you know, almost constantly thinking, oh, could we do this, could we do that, what's going on with this, you know, literally, right, you would execute, put your stops, have you take profits. You can set it all up with magic keys, 50% there. You can even, if you're thinking, oh well, hang on a minute, how are you going to manage risk? Magic keys, partial stop loss. Okay, if I start to see a breakdown, let's say we start to wick below 940, we shouldn't be getting below there. I close 50% and my overall stop loss is somewhere here. Or if we start to break this 30-minute low, I know there's a high chance I'm going to get stopped. So I've got a 70% stop loss, partial stop loss right there. And then I can set my 50% TP here. Oh, what also can I do? Once TP hit, I can put auto break even. So if you think about it in that respect, we would have had a win here today. If I would have walked off, not come back to the charts, let it do its thing, don't give a crap, would have taken a win. Right? Now I'm not trying to say to people, oh, that's the way to go and do it. I'm not trying to say that at all. I'm just trying to say that from, you know, to give you a bit of perspective, that goes to show. What that actually shows is that the emotion side has a major influence in your decision making and your trading. You know, if you take a very aggressive trade styles, then of course you need to be looking at it, because let's say, for example, what's an example? Let's say you took a buy here and you had stops below this candle here. Okay, from a trader's point of view, that's gonna make, you're gonna have to really look at that, because if it's, obviously if you start to see this going on, then yeah, if you leave that, you're gonna have your stop loss smashed if you're wrong, right? But taking a buy over here from a structural point of view, you're above all of this. Your stop's in a very conservative area. Unless there's news, you ain't seeing one candle stop you out. It will be, you know, smaller candles start trending down, and you'll have, like I say, positions where you can close partials, etc. You know, but I think that's just like a good point to make. So what it actually therefore shows is that the emotion side of things is what can affect you, you know, and depending on your trading style. If you're someone that likes to manage risk a lot, which I used to do a lot, how I would have dealt with that trade differently then was, let's say I executed there, stops below here, look to target there, we would have had 10 pips. Next candle pulls back to entry, I'm closing 50%. I'm closing half when I came back to my entry. Push back up into profit, job done, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's how I would have dealt with that maybe differently in that respect. So emotion side of things are really important, and I felt the emotion of that trade. There's no denying it. I did. You know, I did not like the fact I had profit on the table. I had I had 10 pips in the bag. I could have secured 10 pips. That's not what I like to do anymore. I like to look at where my target areas are, which would have been like 13, 14 pips. So when I had 10 pips in the bag, and now we're going to start seeing a drawdown, how are you going to feel about that if you're staring at it? You're going to think, oh man, you know what I mean? But other way around, you know, you don't look at it, you execute, stop, target, go away, go do your thing, come back, and you see TP hit, happy days. But anyway, guys, so we're gonna call it a day in 5 minutes because I've got to shoot off today. I'm a bit busy today. Same as tomorrow as well. Tomorrow I'll be finishing the stream earlier as well. Plus it's a Friday anyway. But since we've got 5 minutes left, I'll be very, very kind to those people who've stayed on the charts with me, stayed on my live stream. I appreciate all you guys. So, does anyone want me to look at any particular pairs, break them down? I will do that for you in the last 5 minutes if you want me to, anyone in the YouTube. But you have to let me know now, not at 9 o'clock when I'm about to leave. So you got 5 minutes now. Get your orders in now. If you want me to check out any other pairs, anything else, I will. I will check them out. And the person who asked about gold, gold is making a high right now. So you don't want to be buying gold now. You've missed the boat for gold. The opportunity on gold was obviously the fact that we had support over here. You had a high made in the Asian session. We came back to this area. We formed support at 3 a.m. There was that push up. You now have a resistance form. If you were up at 5 a.m., then here was your entry. And price moved up. If you wanted to execute further, then you needed to wait for support. 6:30 a.m. gave an opportunity. 7 a.m. also gave an opportunity to continue. Okay, you also need to look at the 5 minute. Did the 5 minute give any options? That 5 minute candle gave options. Nice wick down. Look to push up into those wicks. You know, this 5 minute candle gave options. Again, higher level support. Look to push up into the wicks. Go break even, etc. So now gold's making a high. So now you must wait for a retracement and support. Okay. So 4 minutes if anyone wants me to look at anything. So do let me know now. Is it when it turns 9 o'clock? I'm switching off. Okay, so you got, presume no one wants me to look at anything then. Leon, Kelsey, anything you wanna ask while we're here on the stream, or if you've got any questions about anything?
Really.
No, happy.
Yep.
Leon,
No,
all
right.
good? Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
all good, mate.
Cool. Obviously, you know, you guys, you know, while when we're live and stuff, you know, this is the prime opportunity to, you know, use me for questions, and you know, if there's anything you're unsure about, then you know, ask away. Alright then guys, I think we're going to finish off over here.
Okay, thanks, mate.
No worries, Leon, take care. Yeah, we'll see you in the morning.
See you, mate.
Cheers, Mark.
Yep. Okay, everyone on the YouTube, thank you very much. Have a good day. So hopefully some of you did catch those buys. If you did hold, I personally didn't, but if you did hold, then obviously you would have been paid today. So yeah, well done everyone. Take care. We'll be back in the morning. And yeah, I think next week's gonna be a really good week. So stay with it. Next week should be a very good week. Alright guys, thank you very much. Take care, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks everyone. Oh, and also drop a like on the stream as well, you know. I appreciate that. So yeah, drop a like on the stream, and we'll see you guys in the morning. Cheers guys, take care.